chat on the YouTube. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to take myself out of my comfort zone. I thought a very good topic would be just to talk about how like if I needed to change completely, if I did not want my life to look the same next year as it does right now, if I want it to look completely different, where would I start? The very first thing I would do is I would learn to accept where I'm at right now. Like whatever life looks like to you, whatever it feels like, you just have to accept that. And what I mean by that is, I think that when you're in an environment or when you're in a space in general where you're not happy, you don't like the way things are going, you don't like the people around you, it's easy to become a victim of your circumstances. It's easy to feel like these are the things that are stopping you from being who you want to be and creating the life that you want to create. So it's just easier to have excuses because you feel all these things around you that are happening, like maybe you don't have enough money, maybe you don't have enough time. Whatever it is that you feel, it's easy to use those things as an excuse to keep you stuck. And for what I have learned, I had to be okay with where I'm at, whatever it looks like. So in college, I remember this one time, I would say this is like one of the times where I finally like had my breakthrough and I just stopped stressing. But like there was a time where I was stressed out. Like I was like, oh my God, this rent is so much. Like I was like, I'm working, I'm getting up so early to go to this job that I don't even love. Like, you know how it is being a broke college student, like, or maybe you don't know, I don't know. But that's how I was. And even though I still like allowed myself to have fun and enjoy life, it's like when the dust settles and when like it's just me in my room and it's reality, I'm like, wow, oh, I have to work again to pay these bills again. Like it was just a repetitive cycle until one day I had to tell myself, like, girl, the amount of crying, the amount of tears that you shed, the amount of stress, the amount of worry that you put into these problems, none of those things have made you richer. None of those things brought in money. None of those things brought in more time. None of those things fixed any of your problems, like crying about it, complaining about it, stressing about it. None of that ever fixed my problem. I just stayed in a cycle of complaining and crying and never having enough. So I finally decided, like I looked at my situation and I'm like, okay, I love this apartment. I love this big ass balcony. I love the boudet in my bathroom. Like I love all this, but maybe I can't afford it. Like maybe I need to not be here right now. Like that's what I mean by accept your reality for what it is. Just accept where you are. Because I had to look around, take my feelings out of it, because yes, your feelings matter. They're valid, but your feelings are not facts and they are not everything that matters in a situation. So yes, even though I loved this place, even though I loved the area we were in, even though I loved so many things about where I was living at the time with my bestie, I had to tell myself, like, you have a couple options. You either make more or you spend less. And in that moment, I decided that I'm in college, I'm already working, I'm not about to get a second job. So what did I do? I took my ass back home. I called my mom and I moved back home. And for me, at the time, that was the best thing that I could have done, because then I was able to save money. Then I was able to take myself out of a situation where I felt like it was keeping me stuck when really I was keeping myself stuck. And that's another thing. It's like there's always a solution to the problem that you have. It just might not be the easiest solution. It might not be the solution that you want. Like I didn't necessarily want to move back home. I didn't want to move out of where I was to go, way back home, which my mom stayed maybe like 30-40 minutes away from me at that time. And I was going to FIU. So I was like super close to school. And then I had to move, way far away. But whatever, I didn't use those things against me. I just knew that it's going to benefit me to move in with my mom, because then I'm able to not pay rent, not pay all these things, and not have to worry about all these things, and I'm able to save money. So that's what I mean by I just had to accept my situation for what it was and take my emotions out of it. And you have to do the same thing. Whether it's that you don't have enough money, whether it's that you don't like the people that you're around, look at your situation and say, okay, this is what it is. Am I willing to change it, or am I willing to sit in it a little longer until I can get to where I want to be? Either way, you have to start with that acceptance, because once you can accept it, it's no longer an excuse. You're no longer a victim of your circumstance. You're no longer a victim of life, and you're not just letting things happen to you. You're actually starting to become a proactive creator of life. So make the decision to look around at your life and literally just say, these are the facts. I don't have enough of this. I need more of that. I don't like these people. I don't like the house I live in. I feel like my environment is stuffy. I feel like my environment has too many things going on. Lay out the facts of whatever it is, because once you can lay out the facts and you look at it objectively, like, don't even put your feelings in it. Just say, these are the facts. Like, this is what my life looks like. And then ask yourself, well, what am I willing to do about it? And next to, like, I would literally journal this out, and that's exactly what I did. I literally made like a I don't even know what you want to call it, like a chart where I put like, what is my problem? At the time, my problem was I don't have enough money, or I was stressing about money. So then I would draw a line, and then I would say, okay, what are you doing about this problem? And I'm like, I already have a job. I'm already saving in this way. I'm doing that. Like, anything that you're already doing to solve your problem, put it on one line, and then draw another line, and then put, what else could you be doing? And now, if there's things that you could be doing, be honest with yourself. Even if they're things that you don't necessarily want to do, just be honest about what you could do if you were to step out of your comfort zone. So write that down. And let's say you are already doing everything that you can, then that's where the exercise ends, sweetie. If you're already doing everything that you can, okay, now it's just up to you to have the mindset to create and cultivate the mindset to be able to deal with it, to be able to deal with whatever it is your reality looks like right now. So if you did the graph, you figured out what it is you're doing, what you could do more of, whether there's more things on that list that you can do, then start to do them. But like I said, if there's nothing else you can do about your situation, then you just have to start figuring out, how can I change my mindset? How can I change my perception so that I can start to look at my situation differently, so that my circumstance isn't the thing that's keeping me stuck, so that it's not the excuse I'm using anymore, so that I'm not stressing anymore. Because I'm going to tell you something, like, stress will never fix any of your problems. You cannot, if your emotions are high, your logic is low. Like, you cannot logically solve problems from a heightened state of emotions. So you have to train your mind, you have to train your emotions to work for you. And something that I always say is, whether or not like your beliefs are crazy to other people, as long as they make you a better person, as long as they help you, as long as they serve you, that's all that matters. Like, for me, I believe that things are always working out for me. I believe that if I just try, if I set an intention, there is nothing stopping me from accomplishing that thing but me, but my mindset. And other people might not believe that. Other people might not believe that their thoughts are creating their reality, or that their thoughts are creating their beliefs, which in turn is creating the reality. But that's okay with me, because you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to believe in what I believe in. As long as what you do believe in serves you, that's all that matters. Say all that to say, you have to become comfortable, not comfortable. You have to become someone who can accept where you are and be okay with having to sit in where you are while you're getting to where you want to be. To me, that's the most comfortable place to be in. I did not want to move back home, but I did it, and I made the best out of it. I used that time to learn more about myself. I grew into my spirituality. Like, I would watch YouTube videos all the time. I would listen to podcasts all the time. My focus switched from worry and stress to hope and ambition and dreams and goals. Like, I'm like, you know what? This is just my beginning. It's not my end. And I still have a story to write. So let me keep going. So that is the mindset that you have to have. Like, that is how you accept where you are while you get to where you're going. And because I feel like a lot of us think we need to change our environment. We need to change the people around us. We need to change our job. And sometimes that is the case. Those things do need to change. But ultimately, your mind is so powerful that none of that has to change for you to change. None of that has to change for your life to actually change. Like, it all starts with your mindset. If you can start to perceive things differently, like when things don't go as planned, when life is feeling unstable, that is your sign to redirect. Like, that is your sign that something, like your inner being, the universe, is trying to communicate something to you through the trials and tribulations, through the obstacles, through everything that you're going through. It's trying to communicate something to you, and it's also trying to make you into a stronger person who can create the life that they actually deserve and desire. If you start to head in the direction towards the things that you desire, towards the life that you want to have, with the faith in your ability to actually create it, like if you start to move towards those things, life will start to feel better. And I'm not saying that you won't experience, uncertainty, confusion, fear, all the stuff that comes along with creating your dream life. You'll experience those things, but it hits different when you're actually going after something that you want and you feel these things, compared to you feel stuck in a life where things aren't going your way and you feel these things. You know what I mean? It just hits different when you're actually aligning your goals with your desires. Like, life is supposed to feel good. Life is supposed to be more simple than we make it. But when our thoughts come into play, when our beliefs, when our emotions, when those things are all mixed and they come into play, that's when we start to feel that struggle and that, that unfulfillment with life. So if you aren't feeling fulfilled with the life that you have right now, change something. Change anything. Ask yourself, what ideally would I want life to look like? And do not fall into the trap of trying to make your goals feel realistic. Like, no. Maybe right now, where you are with the mindset that you have, your goals don't feel realistic, but that's because it's your mindset. I want you to know that you can do anything that you want to do. You can be anything that you want to be. Like, you can create a whole life around something that you're passionate about, something that you desire to do, to be. You have that power. And we're just in this society that is heavily influenced by hustle and hard work. And I think that that's fine. If you want to work hard, if you want to hustle, by all means, do that. But for me, I'm different. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to hustle every day. I'm not trying to kill myself, overwork myself. Like, no, I feel like there's a path that I can take that will bring my success with ease. There's the path of least resistance, and I just try my best to stay on that path. Like, when I feel good, I know I'm doing something right. When I feel bad, I know there's something that I need to adjust about what I'm doing or what I'm thinking or what I'm believing. It can be that simple. So the one thing I'm gonna leave you with is to accept where you are, because it's not where you're going to be forever. Be okay with it. Take your feelings out of it. Okay, just go with the facts. Like, what is the facts about my life right now? What does it look like, and what do I want it to look like? And then your job is just to bridge the gap in between those two realities. And if you keep watching my YouTube, if you listen to my podcast, I'm going to help you do exactly that. So that's it for today. Bye, y'all.